case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for.
In 1974, a Florida man was found guilty of murder, robbery, and assault with intent to kill, resulting in a conviction and subsequent death sentence. The grave crimes were brought to the fore again in the 1986 Supreme Court case Darden v. Wainwright, precisely focusing on the appeal the convicted man made against the earlier ruling. The convicted man, subsequently identified as the petitioner, came into suspicion after he crashed a car in proximity to the crime scene. Flooded with growing doubt and suspicion, the wife of the victim and a witness present later identified him at a preliminary hearing. The petitioner maintained his innocence nevertheless. The Florida Supreme Court upheld the conviction and sentence on appeal, despite expressing disapproval of the prosecution's closing argument. Not deterred, the petitioner escalated the case to the United States Supreme Court in 1977 on three principal issues. Firstly, the petitioner expressed grievances for what he believed as an inappropriate exclusion of a juror based on Witt's principle. Secondly, he argued that the prosecution's closing arguments during the guilt phase had made his trial fundamentally unfair. Lastly, he asserted that he had not received effective assistance of counsel during his sentencing. Unfortunately for the petitioner, the Supreme Court maintained the ruling of the lower court of appeals after applying the two-part Strickland v. Washington test to his claims of ineffective assistance of counsel. The justices concluded that the petitioner's accusations stemmed from his counsel's failure to thoroughly investigate his background, hence their inability to present mitigating evidence during the sentencing was invalid. In their decision, the justices noted that they found no lapse in professional judgment in the petitioner's counsel's performance, and hence, the first part of the Strickland test was not satisfied. The court's ruling echoed the sentiment that the counsel's performance didn't fall below an objective standard of reasonableness, and as such, the petitioner was not deprived of effective assistance. The Supreme Court recapitulated the earlier judgment of the Court of Appeals, thereby denying the petitioner's pleas. The case was remanded back to the lower court with explicit instructions to follow the guidelines set out in the Supreme Court's ruling. Crucially, the ruling solidified the concept that for a defendant to prove the receipt of ineffective assistance from their lawyers, they must show that their lawyers made significant mistakes that no reasonable lawyer would make, thereby leading to an unfair trial or sentencing.
Case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for. Visit LSD.law, elevate your mind. Leave the stress of class behind.